Also, he knows halal and haram in business. So he knows that which is obligatory upon him, what is halal from the business, what is haram on the business. He knows the rulings of Islam. And I do not know and I know for a certainty that a lot of the businessmen do not even know what is the most essential characteristics of a business. They will be easily doing a business and earning the whole livelihood, and they don't know they are doing ribah. I wanted to start off the lesson today with a very important scenario, and that was to illustrate to you how we fall into haram all the time, whether it be business people or not. Everybody falls into haram all the time. I'll give you an example. Salim, I have a 10-pound note with me, okay, and I need 2 5-pound notes, okay. So I come to Brother Salim and I say, Brother Salim, can you give me 2 5-pound notes? Brother Salim looks into his pocket and he says, look, I only have 1 5-pound note. Take it, I will give you the other 5-pound note tomorrow. Right? So I take the 5-pound note, and he takes my 10 pound, and we go and we part, and he goes his own way and I go my way. And I'll see him tomorrow inshallah in the mosque, and so I'll get the 5 pounds from him tomorrow. What we have just done now, has anyone done that before? Might have happened to you perhaps? Perhaps? Yeah? Okay, another scenario. That scenario is, you go into a shop and you have a 10-pound note and you want to buy a Kit Kat bar, and that's only 35 cents or 40 cents, was it? Anyway, 40 pence, I'm sorry. 40 pence, yeah? And so you buy a Kit Kat, 40 pence, and the guy says, okay, 10 pounds, I don't have change for that. So he just goes out of the shop, okay? Just goes out of the shop, goes to the next shop, he gets the change, and then he comes back to the shop, and then he gives you the change. Has it happened to you guys before? Everybody, yeah? Okay. What we have just done is ribah. And you've just been cursed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unbelievable. We do this day and night without even thinking. What we have just done is ribah. R-I-B-A. Yes, and inshallah we will come to why that is ribah, how we can change it into being a halal transaction, and inshallah, I just wanted to illustrate to you how, subhanallah, we fall into haram almost every day. How in so many transactions you could be, doing so much halal, so much good. You could be making dua to Allah, oh Allah, this and that, and you think you're doing good, and the very next thing is, you go down the shop to buy a Kit Kat bar and you just done a big sin. Subhanallah, whoever thought buying a Kit Kat would be so hard. So, we will come to why it's ribah inshallah in our third section, when you understand inshallah what the true reality of ribah is. Obviously the next point I've written there is that a Muslim businessman knows about ribah and he stays away from it. And because ribah, if riya, which is pride, if riya is like a black ant on a black stone in a moonless night, then indeed ribah in business transactions is also like that black ant on a black stone on a moonless night. It is so discreet that you cannot really sometimes figure out whether a transaction there is ribah or not, unless you're very, very careful. So ribah is therefore something as well that businessmen always need to be aware of, or everybody needs to be aware of. Next point is that you do not eat up people's money by falsehood and do not harm others. Don't eat up people's money by falsehood. Do not deal in those transactions that eat up people's money in falsehood for no reason. Such as, for example, insurance. Insurance is a transaction wherein people eat up other people's money due to nothing, for nothing. Next point, what is following the laws and regulations regarding business? That you follow the laws and regulations regarding business in that country that you're in. You need to follow those laws. You're not permitted to break those laws. You're not permitted to go against them, and you're not permitted to cheat them, because you are under their authority at this time, and you've entered their land with this authority. If you do not like these laws and you do not wish to follow them, then don't stay here. Go back to where you want to, and then you have your freedom. However, as long as you want to stay here, you are here with their authority, you're not allowed to even break the traffic laws. How will you even cheat them in tax? So don't break laws, follow the laws, be a good citizen in following your business dealings. Okay, the next point was supporting Muslim businesses. Yes, Muslim businessman also needs to support his Muslim brothers, needs to, as much as possible, buy from his Muslim brothers, support them as much as possible. Obviously one of the biggest things the Muslims have is halal meat, and this is why actually a lot of Muslim businesses are being supported, actually, because obviously Muslims just buy from Muslims meat, and therefore this sort of cooperation has to be extended to other sorts of businesses as well. So if you need to buy furniture, there's a Muslim furniture shop, buy it from that. If you need to buy books, there's a Muslim bookstore, buy from that. If you need carpets, go to a Muslim carpet dealer as well. Okay. The next point I wanted to talk about was principles of halal investment. And halal investment has very major principles that one needs to be aware of. Why am I talking about investment? What I mean by investment is that every person is an investor. He needs to earn his money, he needs to spend his money in the right way, he needs to increase his money in the right way. The principles of doing that is, first of all, you stay away from that which is haram. So you do not deal in that which is haram. So you don't invest in a company, or you do not start a business in that which is haram. So you don't, for example, in pork, in alcohol, in those, in ribah stuff, in insurance, and we will come to all those things very soon. As well, don't deal in ribah, don't deal with those companies that deal in ribah. Why do I always keep saying ribah and separating it from everything else? Because of the fact that it is a huge haram, which is more haram than the rest of the transactions which are also haram, and also because riba is so widespread. It's so widespread that needs to be separated out. Okay. Next point was prohibition of dealing in selling the unknown. So you don't sell the unknown, and we'll come to what we mean by that very soon. Also, you do not cheat and cover up and fool the customers and fool them in a manner that would be considered outrageous. What do we mean by outrageous? It means gharar al-fahish in Arabic, and I could not find a better word to translate at that point. That would be considered outrageous. A gharar al-fahish meaning entering so much uncertainty into the contract that would be considered outrageous. We will come to all of that very soon. The next point is the prohibition of every sale that helps the disobedience of Allah. So you do not obviously participate in any sale that would be considered disobedience, such as selling musical instruments, such as, for example, other sorts of haram, such as selling a computer to someone who will use it for haram, etc. If we turn to the next page, we'll come to the first thing that we want to talk about today, and that is a brief introduction to the fiqh of buying and selling commerce in Sharia and the types of commerce that are forbidden. The first and most important thing we need to understand is the definition of what is considered buying and selling or commerce in Islam. It is a contract based upon mutual consent for the exchange of commodities. That's all it is. So if I have this water and I give it to the brother in exchange for that book that he has, just a buying and selling contract has just taken place, even though we didn't even think it's buying and selling. So if I exchange my laptop for the brother for his car, for example, then that would be an exchange of buying and selling without us even saying a word, because that is what buying and selling in Islam is. Buyu' in Islam, a sale in Islam is exactly that, the exchange of commodities with consent. So I agree and you agree, and we have exchanged the commodities, and that's it.